It's live stream. I'm live here, so this is not like pre-recorded video. So we want to discuss. I want everyone to discuss with this subject because it's very important that we provide solution to this lady that is going through this particular challenge in our marriage and as a family. So we are all about family aspects. So I want to encourage you to participate today. So what are we going to talk about? Like we already know, the topic is very, very touching, to know that things like this, they happen. I thought things like this never happens. I never know that there are people who will actually value their mother. A man will value much more their mother than the wife that they marry, and also go ahead to defy their marital birthright for the. I can't imagine that. So I've been thinking about it. My mind has been going through it. I think, what is going on in families? What are people going through in their marriages? It's terrible. So I want us to talk about it, and I want everyone to participate on this particular topic, because your opinion, your suggestion, your idea, whatever you think is right on this matter, is gonna help a lot of people. Believe me, it's gonna help a lot of people. So I encourage you to participate today, this afternoon. I want you to share your comments. I want you to call in. If you want to call in, you must say something about this, because this lady need an answer. There are many women out there who need the same answer right now as we're talking. They need the answer. They need this question to be answered. They are going through this particular challenge in their relationship as we speak. So it's a huge, mind-blowing, very disturbing issue. For me, it is disturbing. It is a huge concern. I cannot imagine that going on in a family. Let's just cut the chase, Let's cut the chase and go right into the question. Let's see exactly what the question is about, and let us analyze. If we are all adults, let us analyze logically this situation. I want us to analyze it logically, because this is a huge thing that I feel every woman who's going through this particular situation should break out from. I believe is a bad thing, is a bad practice a man will engage, and I don't think any marriage should be, or family should be, doing this or allowing this to happen. So let's look at the question right off front, and then we're going to come back and then talk about all of these things. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Like I said, this is live program. I don't want you to go anywhere. I'm here live. We're going to be discussing. I'll be right back in a minute. Yes, welcome back. I told you I'm here live. So I want to continue to share something about this particular live stream, this video today. Now, the question, I want you to look at it. The question is just mind-boggling. Look at that. My mother-in-law wants my husband to sleep in her room for some days. I want you to listen to this. He said, my mother-in-law wants my husband to sleep in her room for some days when my father-in-law is out. Is this okay? How should I respond? Wow. This is very touching. First, I want you to understand what is going on here. The husband came to the wife and said, my mother is asking me to come and stay with her, sleep in her room, because my dad has gone out. My dad has gone out, and then I think we need to. I need to be with my mom to sleep in her room, because she wants me to sleep in her room, for a couple of days because my dad has traveled. My dad is going out. And then this is what this man, this husband, is telling the wife right now. And he says, my mother is asking me to come and stay in her room. So and for the couple of days, I'm not going to be sleeping with you as a wife, as my wife. I'm going to be sleeping in my mother's room. So in quote, I'm going to be sleeping with my mother. I don't know if you understand that. That happened. This is true story. Now, this is not like a makeup question. This is real. I mean, this is more than just real, because for me, I'm feeling like this is happening now. The woman was told by the husband and said, my wife, my mother wants me to my mother wants me to come and stay with her in her room for a couple of days. Okay. My dad is traveling. My dad is going out. So my dad won't be around for a couple of days. So my wife, I understand, I'm going to be staying with my mom. My mom, she's very special to me. So she's asking me to come and sleep with her. That's the way I see it. In other words, come to my room and sleep in my room. Your mother's room. Your mother is asking you to come and sleep in her room. Your own mother. And then you are telling your wife that, my wife, you see, I'm sorry, I'm going in 2 days, or in 3 days, or in 4 days, I'm going to be sleeping. Do you understand? I'm going to be sleeping with my mom. And this is exactly what this woman received from the husband's mouth. He said, because the husband father is going out. He's going to be going out, probably going for business trip for a couple of days, or probably going for travel. This is a scenario. And now I began to ask questions. First, are both of you, are the parents and the couple living in the same apartment? It appears to be so. So they are living in the same apartment. So the father and the mother of the boy, they have their rooms. And the boy himself and the wife have their own rooms. They don't have kids yet. So this is the scenario. Now, anytime the man, the father, the man's father goes out and does shifts, night shift, or probably is busy working and doing something outside, like a contract outside job, what happened is the the woman, the mother of the boy, begin to ask out of fear. I'm not sure whether she don't like sleeping alone. That has been the problem. This man did not give us detail. Now the problem is the wife is confused. The woman is confused. What can she do? Is this right? For me, she's asking me, is this right? Is this okay? Is this normal? Because it's like she's new to this whole thing. She haven't seen this happen before. She haven't heard this happen before. And to me, it's strange. I haven't seen this happen. How can a mother ask his son to come and sleep in his own room, in our own room, for a couple of days? A man that is married, the man is under his matrimonial home. So this is a very, very bad practice, I know, but what do we do? Is it okay to do? Can this guy just go along with that kind of behavior? Is this acceptable? What do you think? What is your suggestion? What is your idea about this? What are you thinking? Because this is huge. This is serious. This is mind-boggling. All right? Yeah. Why it says is a bad practice. Of course, that's what we're talking about. It's a bad practice, but people are practicing it. How do we help them stop the bad practice? What can they do? What can they do? Let me read the question to you again. If you haven't seen the question, I'll make it very bold now so you see it. Now, it says, my mother-in-law wants my husband to sleep in her room. This is the mother-in-law. Wants my husband, she's the one asking this question, to sleep in her room for some days when my father-in-law is out. Is this okay? What should I do? So you see the question. That is the problem. So imagine a man will wake up in the morning and say he wants to become a husband and marry a wife. And then at the long run, brings the mother into his marriage as a second, as a probably now the first wife, as another wife. Because let me assume they are not intimate. This is not, this has nothing to do with intimacy. I want to assume that. But it is even wrong to bring in your mother in place of your wife, because you're telling your wife, look, I can't sleep with you for the next couple of days because my mother wants me to sleep in her room with her. Okay, let's analyze this, because I just want to assume that there is no intimacy going on. But in reality, I think there is. And that is abomination of the highest order, if that is what the situation is. Now, I'm coming with my suggestions. I'm coming with what I think she should do. But here's my analysis here. The woman, she is confused about this kind of relationship with a husband and a son and a mother. That's the reality. This relationship between a son and a mother, where a husband can defy or neglect his matrimonial responsibility for the sake of the mother. I understand that there's so much passion and love that we men have for our mothers, depending on how you were raised by your mother. But if you are mommy's boy, it could be worse. If you are just a mommy's boy, that can be terrible. That can be worse. So I understand that is practiced in some parts of the world. But I thought that is many years ago. I thought probably people have developed, learned something better. But for a man to deny his marital responsibility, and then for the sake of his mother, that means you are walking away from your marital rights for the sake of your mother. You are telling your wife, I can't sleep with you for the next couple of days. I'm going to sleep in my mother's room. My mother is asking me to come and sleep in her room for a couple of days. This is barbaric. This is terrible. And this is exactly what most men are doing, which is wrong, and exactly what many women are going through, which is absolutely wrong as well. Now, if this man, this husband, so-called husband, loved the mother this much, I don't think that the idea that the woman, the mother, is suggesting to him, I think it's a suggestion. For me, I think this is just happening. Maybe it hasn't happened before, but I doubt. I believe this has been happening. But let's assume it hasn't happened before. This is just new. Let's assume it's happening. The mother is just requesting this. The guy should come to his senses and realize that this is wrong. How could, in fact, I feel it has been happening. That's why it's easy for him to accept and come to the mother, to the wife, and tell the wife, you know what? My mother is asking me to come and sleep in her room. So you are going to stay in your room in our matrimonial home for the next couple of days. And that is unacceptable. And she is not taking it. And I agree with her why she's not taking it. Because I'm not taking it. It's wrong. No woman out there should take that. And no man out there should be practicing this. This is wrong. Let me explain something to you guys. Maybe you haven't understood it. Let me explain something. Firstly, a man, when you get married, there's something that happens to you. You You are disconnected. There is a disconnection that takes place. All right. If you read your Bible, if you don't, I'll tell you what is there. By the God who created marriage in the first place. He said when a man married, he leaves his father and his mother. He leaves and then cleave, join, attached himself to his wife. And then both of them will become one flesh. That is the theory and the law that governs marriage. The question is, if that is true, then to this man, he doesn't understand what he has gotten himself into when he got married to you. That's the first point. He doesn't know that he's married. He doesn't understand the consequences of his action. He doesn't even understand that this action he's taking is an abomination to marital status. It's an abomination to the principles and the rules that govern marriage. Is wrong. Is a wrong step. Look at it this way. A man will have to leave his mother. A man who is marrying and not marrying a wife, will have to make up his mind that he's leaving his mother, leaving his father. Now, leaving them doesn't mean you abandon them. No. It means that attachment, it had to be disconnected because this man was raised, all right, by his parents. So because he was raised by his parents, two things involved. Either he's so close to his father or he's so close to his mother. So God said, you as a man, you need to understand that you are taking up a new responsibility of uniting yourself with a new family. So you have to disconnect yourself. So there is a disconnect that takes place from when you decide to get married. You are disconnected from your parent. You are disconnected from your mother, from your father. A man shall leave. He said, for this reason shall a man leave his father and his mother. Shall a man leave? You leave your father and your mother, and you be cleaved, connected, joined, attached to your wife. And both of you will become one flesh. What does that mean to this man? Does it mean anything to you as a man, a married man? If you are attached to your mother like this, imagine how this is so embarrassing. To me, it is so embarrassing. Let me look at your comment, please. Why says I will offer to go, I will offer to go keep her company instead, not my man. Okay, that's a good suggestion. So, as a woman, instead of your husband, why? I think this is right. I believe she's going to listen to this video because she would. Listen, you don't let your husband do that. I don't know how close that your husband and his mother is, but that's what I'm handling now. I'm trying to talk about that closeness. There's a problem with it. That closeness between a mother and a son who is now a married man, there's a problem with it. It's wrong. It's wrong in all ramification. It's wrong in biblical terms. It's wrong everywhere. I think it's wrong. Because when you're married, you're married. Okay? And when you're married, according to the Bible, you have moved away from your parents. You are not attached to your wife. You are attached to your new family. Your wife is now your priority, not your mother, not your father. Of course, they are important. They are very important. I have parents and I'm married. My wife has parents and she's married to me. So we're married. But we understand what this means. When you're married, it is the person you married to that becomes your priority. It becomes your focus. It becomes the one that whom you share your emotional, spiritual, and physical attachment with. Is that person. Your intimacy only is granted the permission between you and your wife. That's where your intimacy ends. Any intimacy outside your marital boundaries is an abomination. It is wrong. So for you to say that your mother wants you to sleep with her, no, sleep in her room. Let me just say, because that's her words. She says sleep in her room. Your mother is asking you as a man to come and sleep in her room because your father is not around, he's traveled or gone out for anything. Then you are saying you are considering it as a man, a married man. You are telling your wife to accept the offer. I can't imagine this. I can't imagine. My head is aching for this, really. I mean, Rita, welcome here. Rita said, oh, let me put it up. Rita said, some people don't know the meaning of marriage. Indeed. And a lot of people. I'm amazed. I'm amazed. Now, it's not funny. I may be laughing, but it's so annoying. For me, I'm embarrassed as a man. I'm very embarrassed. I couldn't even hide it. That's why I have to come online. I said, let us discuss this. This is not something I'm going to do a video on. Let me just come and discuss. I want us to talk about this. I want us to see this thing, that things like this is happening here. It's happening. I'm not kidding. These things are happening. And there's fire in the mountain in many homes. Imagine okay, think about it now. Imagine this. This man just came to the wife and said, my mom said, I can even imagine how embarrassing to say that. My mom is asking me to come and sleep in her room with her. And because my daddy is going out, you are talking to your wife. What a boy. I mean, guys, grown up, man. Come on, grow up. There are times we don't allow these things to come to our head at all. Really. What are you thinking about? So the woman will not stupidly say, okay, my husband, and you can go ahead. Really? No. I think she's not stupid. No woman should act stupidly like that. No matter, now it may not be on this particular scenario. There are many other cases whereby the husband listens to their mother more than they will listen to their wife. I've seen a scenario of such, many of them. So they will listen to what their mother is saying that their wife has done wrong. So they listen to their mother to mistreat or react to their wife. So it's like their mother is not the one reporting their wife to them. So every time they hear from their mother, their wife will receive severe manhandling and probably beating or the worst of her life, whatever it is. What a man. Is that marriage? Or you didn't marry. You just took up a slave. You took up a slave. Because at the end of the day, it just shows that you took up a slave. So me, I'm thinking, first of all, the relationship, indeed, you're right. He's a mama's boy. I'm thinking he's not a husband, he's a mama's boy, because this is exactly what happens to those who are mama's boy. You cannot succeed as a married man if you follow depending only on what your mother, your father is saying about your life. You should understand, when you are married, you are separated from them. You can take advice, but there are advice. Listen, let me tell you something. My parents does not advise me about my family, about my marriage. It has never been. I've been married for over 8 years now. My parents have never one day say a word concerning my marriage. Not that we don't have challenges. We do. But because we have learned how to manage, how to coordinate, how to overcome some of these things. We have learned it. So it is hard. The foundation is not there. So it has never been there. So there's no way that we will not start depending on that foundation. I want you to understand what I'm trying to say. So this is so important for the guy to think. I think before the woman will summon such courage and tell the son and say, please come and sleep in my room. Oh, your daddy is going for a couple of days. I want you to come and sleep in my room for a couple of days too, because your father is not around. Hey, I don't get it. No, I don't get it. Are you saying that whenever your father is not around, you take the position of your father to be a husband to your mother? I don't get it. Because this is exactly what this woman is portraying right now, this so-called mother-in-law. She's portraying that the son is also her husband, even though she is the mother of this man. That's exactly what I'm getting. Exactly what I'm getting from this, because I can't imagine that a woman, a mother, will boldly proclaim rights over his son who is under a matrimonial bond. I don't understand. You don't get my point. The man is under a matrimonial bond. He is married. Guys, you need to help me here. I need you guys to help me. I need you guys to help me, because this lady needs answer. That's number one. Number two, there are many women out there who are going through the same thing right now. We need to help them. We need to provide solutions, what they can do, strategies, things. Because first of all, I would suggest that this woman, this lady who's been a victim of these circumstances right now, I think she should go on investigation. She should investigate the relationship between the son and the mother. That's number one. If I were in her shoes, I will investigate the relationship between the mother and his son. As a wife, I'm going to investigate that. That's number one. Yes, I understand that why I said that she will offer to keep the woman company instead of the husband. That's a very good one. But before that, for a man, for a mother to ask for his son who is married to come and sleep in her room for days just because your husband is not around, something is wrong somewhere. Not that she lives in a different apartment. No, they are living in the same apartment, the same building, but she's in her room, probably in another flat in her room. The husband and the wife, they are in their own apartment, in their own section of the house, apartment on the house, right? This is a situation. This is a scenario. Oh, you are saying that now, Rita. Let me tell you something. Is it the wife must have seen all these traits before getting married and thought he will change after marriage? Well, you're right. It may be. It may be not. You see, that's the point. What I'm saying is this your suggestion here is right. It could be. It could be in reality that she eventually knew through the time, but she thought it's just the mother-father relationship. I mean, mother-son relationship. All right. She just thought it's just mother-son relationship. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, that's fine. So if the mother-son relationship, that's fine. There are many women like that today. Oh, okay. I was listening to a marriage counselor one day who was advising some lady. Look at what she said. She said, if your husband to be has a very poor relationship with the mother, or does not have any closeness with the mother at all, that's one. Or she says, if your husband to be is not related, is not closely joined to your mother in a way that you will be jealous, he said, then that man is not a man for you. Think about that statement. See, you think about that. Rita, what do you think about that statement? You guys are watching now. What do you think? Look at that. She said, this was a lady advising other ladies on what kind of man they should marry. Okay? She said, if your husband to be does not have a close attachment to the mother in such a way that you are jealous, then she is not the right, he is not the right man for you to marry. That man cannot take care of you. That man cannot make other women jealous of you. I don't know if you understand what she was saying. So exactly the point. So there are some women who sees this as though it's an important thing to them. So they say, well, he is very close to his mother. Oh, this man loves his mother. Their friends will say, really? That means he's probably going to love you very much. You're wrong. In most cases, many women have misinterpreted this in a very wrong way. Of course, we have many of them. We have many of them. See, that counselor is dysfunctional. We have many of them, Rita. Maggie. Maggie, we have many of them like that. Trust me. We have many of them. And do you know there are many women who believe that today? Trust me. There are many women who believe that today. They think if the man is not really close, I mean, the man doesn't call his mother 5 times a day. The man doesn't visit the mother 2 times a day. Or the man doesn't even spend time spending 1 week or 2 weeks with the mother 2 times every month. Then that man is not able to take care of this woman. He will not be able to take care of me. If I marry that man, I'm gonna suffer because he doesn't care for. I can see that he won't care for me because he doesn't care for the mother. Hello, Maggie. You're right. Thank you for joining us. It's an amazing thing. It's an amazing thing that I am like, what can a woman think like this? So she might just be in that web. It could have been that she was a victim through this process of what we are analyzing now. So so what do you think? Because Rita said, well, all right, let me put up what you said. Rita, you said, well, I wouldn't conclude that man is not the right man for me. Good. My thought would be investigate why he is not so close to his mother or father. Not so close. What about if he is close? It doesn't have to be so close. Do they have to be so close? I love my wife. And I love her ever before I met her. And when I met her, I knew she was, before I met her, before I got married to her, I loved her before I got married to her. And I still do. After 8 years, I still do. But it has nothing to do with my closeness with my father or my tight closeness with my mother. No. I love my parents. I love them. I care for them. But that closeness that we're describing, that should portray that's how you should love your wife, is wrong. We need to understand sometimes we think we are getting the right advice. But for me, based on my experience and what I see happen is wrong. And look at that. Maggie said, I enjoy video like this because it's prepared me for the future. These are things to look out during our courtship. Yes, it's very important, my dear. It's very important. So I believe, I agree with you, Rita, what you're saying. There are a lot of people who have that as an option. But in reality, it's not supposed to be all the way we are looking at, it should be very close. Yeah, you can find out why. There's a situation whereby the guy doesn't talk to his mother, probably they quarreled and all of that, or he doesn't talk to the father, probably they quarreled or something. That is different scenario. But another scenario you want to look at is that the man doesn't take care of his parents at all. That is another deep scenario that you should think of. So I would advise any woman who is looking at for this kind of trait, you know what? Hey, look, it is not about whether the husband to be is very, very close to his mother that would determine that he's going to take care of you. No, what you should look at for is that, does he have relationship It's not intimacy. Does he have relationship at all with the parents? Do they talk? Are they in good conversation, in good terms? Do they communicate well? All right. Yes, they disagree and agree. That is normal with parents and children. There are many times I disagree with my dad and disagree with my mom. There are many times I did. That doesn't mean we were not family. They are not my parents. I still care for them. I still do what I have to do to support them and be there to love them. And they did that to me as well. But in reality, that didn't determine that, oh, I will not be able to take care of my wife or care for my wife, love my wife because I didn't do that to my parents or my mom. First of all, the basic thing is, does that man take care of the parents when they need help? That's the key. Does he communicate with them regularly and find out how they are doing, how they are faring? That is the key. So those are the major things you take with you. Then if a man doesn't do these things, then there is a problem. That's where you now start, that's where you now start analyzing it deeper. Let me see. Rita said there are people who point hands to other people without realizing that they are at fault. In reality, I agree with you. But in reality, personally, I know very well that this action of this woman, of this man asking the asking the wife to allow him to go and sleep in the mother's room. Oh, come on. How close can you get? How close? This is way more being close. This is another thing. This is raising a red flag already. For me, this is red flag. Something is popping, man. Something is happening. Something is going on. What? Okay, you tell me. What kind of relationship would that? You your ladies are here now. I believe most of you are ladies here now. You tell me, would you accept that? Would you take that for yes? Or would you just accept it and say, oh, it's a mother and son relationship. That's normal. Would you allow that? I believe not. If you would, tell me in the comment section. Let's look at it. Let's analyze it together. We are live. This is a live program. And if you want to say something, I would like to invite you in to say something, because I would like you to say what you think you want to say, because most time we might find it, a lot of work to type what we want to type, because we need to let people know that this thing is wrong. Any woman who is going through this right now should find a way out. And when I mean find a way out, I'm not saying you should leave your husband. No. Here's what you do. The first thing is, it is deniable. This kind of offer is wrong. Don't accept it. Don't say yes. You should never say yes to such an offer. Like Rita said, offer to do that instead of your husband. Why don't tell your husband and say, you know what? If your mom wants somebody to sleep in a room with her because she's afraid of night or she's afraid of something, I would do it. But not you. But again, why will a mother of all people who want to destroy a marriage that the son is building just because he's afraid of night? I don't think so. Let me read your comments. How Maggie said, sometimes mothers like this, let me put it up. Sometimes mothers like this see their sons as surrogate. Yeah. Surrogate husband. I told you about. Now maybe I will come to that very soon. Then Rita said the wife should sit her husband down and let him know that what he is asking for is nothing acceptable at all. Exactly. But it's not easy to just say, oh, it's nothing acceptable at all, because the man might act stubbornly. The woman need to give reasons. What are her reasons? Yes, it's not acceptable, but why? What if the guy just feel it's okay? What if the wife just feel it's okay? Mengi said, this mother, you are angry like me. I'm very angry with this kind of situation. He said this mother has an ungodly soul tied with her ungodly soul. Indeed, there is an ungodly act in this. Something is wrong. Okay, she's almost spending her life. I believe the son would be about 40 years old, or maybe in the late 30s and early 40s. And you want to just destroy this young man's life by your emotion. Okay, what if at the end of the day she passed on? She finally died. Everyone would die one day. So you finally passed on and leave. So what do you think his emotional state will be? He will be in trauma. Then it will be very difficult for the wife to even comfort him, because at that moment there's no room. Even now, it's like the mother is the one comforting him while the wife is still present. I'm telling you. Yes, Rita said, well, it is not going to be an easy communication. She needs to communicate amicably. Yes. Okay, for you now, what do you think? I'm asking you, Rita, what do you think she should say? What angle would she have if it were to be you? What do you think you would do about this? How will you handle this? What will you tell her? What will you do? Because I'm thinking as a man, all right? But I want to hear the opinion, the side of a woman. That's why I came up online to share this. Otherwise, I would have just do normal video like I normally do and then post it up. But I thought, no, it's not going to help, because that would be just thinking one side. I want to hear your opinion about this. What do you think? As a woman, what will she do? Let's say now this is solution time. We know that the problem is there. It's wrong for a woman to do that. I mean, for a man to do that to the mother is wrong. And for a mother to be asking that from his son, who is married, not that he's not married, he's married. Even when he's not married, there's something, people will raise flag and say something is wrong. Why would your mother be asking you to come and sleep in her room? It didn't say to come and sleep in the house. Not that they are the husband, the mother and the father of this boy are in another house. No, it's not about they are in another house. This is the same house, one house. They are all in this one apartment. This huge, they are all in this one apartment. So not that nobody sleeps in that house. They are all in this apartment. So the mother and the father has their rooms. Then this man who is married has his room with the wife. They have no kids yet. This is the scenario. And the mother is asking him, his son, to come and sleep in her own room. Not that she live in another house. This is where I wonder. I'm thinking, what's going on? Can this be happening? Okay, I'm trying to find out what this woman called mother, this mother of this man. I'm trying to find out what is eating her up. What is the problem? What will make a woman do such a thing? A mother. Because to me, I see it is a very, like Maggie said is an ungodly soul tie. Indeed, an ungodly soul tie is going on. So that's why I'm angry. Something wrong, something is not right. Because according to the godly way, a man who is married is separated emotionally, intimate-wise, emotionally from the father and mother. That's the agreement. That's the law. Let me read what Maggie said. Maggie said, I wonder if he is an only son or child. Well, this is the situation. If I am the wife, I would have to have a sit down with my husband. His passivity is reinforcing his mother's behavior. Okay. Reinforcing his mother's behavior. Good. But in reality, let's assume that this behavior has been on for who knows. She just discovered, like Maggie's Rita said earlier on. Rita said she must have seen the traits of this happening. Now it's like this is just going out of hand. Now she's waking up. She didn't take it seriously when this thing started earlier on. So now she's just waking up. It's like, oh, this thing is real. I thought it's now, oh my God, this is happening. Oh my God, what am I going to do? This is happening. Oh no. I never thought this has been. Now she's confused. Now she's waking up. Do you know there are many women like that? They never seems to wake up until it's the last minute or something terrible is going already before they will now wake up and say, this thing is going on since. Hi. Okay, imagine. I want to give you another scenario. This is another, just a scenario that's connected to this, but it's not so tight. A wife, a lady brought her sister to come and live in her own house with the husband, okay? Then she's always busy. She goes out to work, come back late. She brought the sister in so that the sister will be able to help her, because she said, if I bring a house girl in, the house girl will, I don't know what my husband will do, the house girl or housemaid. So she brought her sister. She said, because my sister is my relation, so she will not suspect anything will go on. So she brought her sister into the marriage, into the family, to stay with them. And then she will spend hours doing business, going to meetings, company trips. The man who she married became idle and feeling lonely. So his eyes were now shifted away from his wife to his sister. And one day, she was shocked that the sister got pregnant for the husband. The question is, the question is, whose fault is it? Is it the man who was indisciplined, unable to talk and keep himself? Or is it the wife who stupidly go and brought her sister into the family to use her as a helpmate because she's so busy to pay attention to wife? Like we said earlier on, let me read your comment before I continue. Yes, let me read your comment. Maggie said, the signs have always been there, but they did not make sense to her then. She misinterpreted the signs. Now she's awake. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. And it's wrong. Let me read Rita's comment. The wife should get to ask the husband if there was a past experience with his mom when he was a child. That's a strong one. Was there any sexual activity happening between him and the mother before she... Do you think... Listen, Rita, do you think this guy will admit to this? He knows the consequences. Even though things like this may have been, he won't admit to it. I think he won't. He might probably deny it and talk it over because it's like he's free with it. The only thing, she might try this, she may try it, but in reality, I don't think the man himself will admit to this. Trust me, Rita. But I think what will happen is this, is that the woman should investigate it. He should not come, because sometimes men will open up when they are actually caught red-handed. Most men open up when they are caught red-handed. Not that it's going to happen now, but I'm saying she can investigate the past. She can also investigate the future. Okay, like somebody was suggesting when I discussed this earlier on with someone. The person said the lady should the lady should plant hidden cameras in the mother's room. I thought, well, that is, again, especially if you're living in Africa, there'll be no problem. But if you're living in the Western world like this, where we live, I mean, there's something wrong. That's invading someone's privacy, and you may get sued. So that again is another issue. But you got to investigate the situation. You got to investigate. She have to investigate it. It's not enough to just say, okay, fine. Okay, let's sit down and talk. Has this thing been going on? No, it's not. He's not going to open up like that. Most men never do. I'm a man, I will tell you that. Most men, I didn't say all men. Most men will never open up like that until they're caught red-handed. Trust me. Trust me on that. Rita said that's true, sir. Yeah, because I know what I can feel what men are feeling and what women, most times what women are going through. I can imagine that. Now look at this. It says, Mengi said, I will not rule out Rita's theory about something happening during the childhood. Yeah, something. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Something may have been this didn't just start. It didn't just start. Okay, now let's try and offer solution. Let's try and offer solution now. Like Rita said, yes, Rita said the wife should get to ask the husband if there were past experience with the mom when he was a child. Was there any sexual activity happening? Well, I suggest that Rita's suggestion is also wise. The woman should ask. Sometimes there's no harm in asking. Why not ask? If you're uncomfortable with such decision, let's say this. If your husband is so close to the mother in such a way that you are jealous, you should ask question. Yeah. I mean, there's no man who is truly married to you and he loves you will make you jealous extremely of being so close to your own to his own mother. Not even your mother as the wife. No, his own mother. It doesn't make sense. If the man is close to your mother as the wife, that's okay. That can be understandable, but not so close in a way that your mother, who is a woman, who is the mother of the wife now, asking your husband to come and sleep in her room. No, not that close. That's where my problem is. How can a man be so close to a woman? I mean, to his mother in such a way that he sleeps in his room as a married man. He's still sleeping in the mother's room. I mean, it's annoying. It's barbaric. This is open war. I'm reading Rita's comment here. Let me put it up. The wife might get to speak with the siblings of the husband or his friends. If we want to get to the bottom of any secret, the best person to ask is the close friends. You see why I came? You see why I'm talking about suggestion from you guys? Look at this now. The wife might get to speak with the siblings. The wife might get to speak with the siblings. If there are no siblings, what if there are no siblings? Then he should speak to his friends. No matter what, either the man has close friends or he has close siblings. If he doesn't have siblings who can tell the truth, then the friends should be able to tell. There should be a childhood friend somehow who the woman can be able to question. Because I'm not saying we are not suggesting that you should fight your husband. This is not the time to start fighting. Don't and laying accusations and say, something is going on, and then you start screaming, holding your head and screaming, somebody come, something is going on, No, this is not the time to do that. So what you need to do is sit down and use your mind. Think before you act. Like Rita is suggesting, ask questions. That's what I would tell you to do. The first thing is the action is wrong. The request is unacceptable. That's the first step. Don't accept it. Now, why? Why would you not accept it? What are your backings? Because you're married. You're married. Your husband belongs to you, not to anyone else. Once you're married, your husband is now your own, your property, your own. Same thing with the man. The man sees you as the wife as his own property. That's what it means. Both of you now are now one. You are one. There's nothing you do that should be against your oneness. So sleeping in your mother's room is against that already. So that alone is a well-defined reason. You want to say no to it. Sleeping in my mother's room is not acceptable. My mother should never think of asking me to come and sleep in her room and leave my marital bed and come and sleep in your own room. Ha! What is this? What is this? I can't imagine that. And then the man will not stupidly say, yes, okay, let me go and tell my wife. What? Tell your wife? Ask your wife for permission? That is not something you even want to tell, bring with saying. You don't need permission to say no first. You are the man. You have to stand up and say, no, mom, what kind of request is that? Are you okay? What are you asking me to do? That will be the normal reaction of something that is just starting. I think so. But if it has been on, like Rita said, probably it has been on since childhood. Think about it. And I 50% agree with that in a way. If not 80% agreement, self. I agree with that. In a way, something connect to that. There's something. Childhood experience. There's something that has been going on on childhood experience. It has been on. And that has tamed his emotion. It has tamed his decision. So it's like he's imprisoned with it. He's belong. He can't speak up and speak out about it anymore. He's afraid. He's been timid. Now it's like he's not like he's a slave to the mother. And he's afraid. Probably he was even forced to marry this woman as a camouflage. The question is, why would the woman, the parent, the mother and the father now come to his marital home and stay there? Let's assume he's taking care of them. But why stay there? They don't have to stay there to take care of them. You can take care of them from anywhere. I think so. I'm not saying don't take care of your parent, don't love your parent, but you see, we have to apply some wisdom. Men, we need to understand that we need wisdom to handle what we have in our possession so that we'll not lose them. I read an article recently. Somebody was saying that I wanted to listen to this. Somebody was saying that there are no good women anymore. He says, but there are men who are looking out to take or steal from the men who stupidly do not recognize the goodness and how nice that their wife is to them. And they just toss them off. There are other men like that who will steal your wife. So again, if you're a man listening to this and you don't treasure your wife, you take your wife for granted and you try to do this kind of thing. Imagine this kind of thing. You come to your wife and tell your wife, my mother said I should come and sleep in her room. You don't value your wife. For me, you don't value your marriage at all. If you don't value your marriage, then you don't value that woman that you marry. That's the simple truth. You will not bring that as a conversation to come and discuss with your wife. My mother said I should come and sleep in her room for 5 days or 10 days or 15 days, whatever, how many days. Even though it's just for a night, there should be a question. Why? Is she sick? No. Is she paralyzed? No. Okay. What is going on? You see now? So this is exactly what we are talking about. Some people are thinking now, what is this guy talking about? Let me give you the question again. I talked about this particular question. It says, my mother-in-law wants my husband to sleep in her room for some days when my father-in-law is out. Is this okay? Should I respond as a yes to it? That exactly is the question. And I'm saying the woman should never respond to that kind of request. What is your take on this? What do you think? And that's what I'm throwing out to everyone. What do you think? What do you think should be done? What do you think should be done? Should she go ahead and do it, or um, should she just, wave it over his head and say, okay, okay, that's fine, maybe? What do you think? What do you think? So that's what I'm asking you. What do you think can be done? Is there a way for this to be resolved? And that's what we're talking about today. And if you have any contribution, I want you to contribute right away in the next couple of minutes. I want you to contribute and then also say your opinion about this. And as well, I would like to suggest to you, if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, I want you to subscribe to this channel, because we have a lot of information that we have been sharing on this channel that I personally believe will be of great impact to you. It will be of great impact. So I encourage you to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already subscribed to this channel. And also, if you have any question regarding relationship, or you're going to be going through challenges and you want a clarification of some things in your relationship, in your marriage, don't hesitate to ask us the question. We'll be able to share some of information that will help you, guides you on what to do, how to go about it. It's just a way that we think we can actually support you. So this channel helps you in that direction. All right, somebody made a comment. Let me see. Who's made the comment here? Let me see. Somebody made a comment. Okay. Thank you, Rita. Rita is saying thank you. I appreciate. Now, please let me know what you think about. If you haven't subscribed yet, guys, subscribe and join the bandwagon. There's so much we're sharing, and there's so much we want to share. And there's more of these things that people are going through that we want to talk about. All right, we want to talk about. So if you have any question, any subject you think you need an answer to, and you want us to talk about it, please don't hesitate to put it on the comment section, or you can write to me on this email, on our email address. I'll just put it up for those of you who would like to write email. You like to write email. There's some of you who like to write email. All right. So if you want to write email, you can write to me on Outlook. Family Aspect at Outlook is just there on the chat. So you can get it there and write to us if you want to. You can write to us right there, anytime, any day. So write to us, Family Aspect at outlook.com. Write to me, and I will be able to take your information, and then obviously anonymously we'll be able to treat every subject that you ask us to talk about, or probably you want some answers to. Any other questions that you may ask, just put it on the comment section, and then we'll be able to get back to you on those questions. Thank you everyone for watching, and I believe everyone who has listened to this video or who will be watching this video will have great impact. Now let's summarize before we just go off. First of all, I want to thank Rita for being part of this live stream. I really appreciate your comment. And Wise was here earlier on, and I thank you for being there. And also Maggie, thank you so much for being there. You did amazing. You did amazingly commenting today. Thank you all for joining. You guys are amazing. You guys are my family, and I love you all for being part of this live stream. There's so much we can talk about, but I want to summarize about this. Firstly, If you're going through this challenge and the man is really more into the mother than you are or than he is to you, that means you're becoming more irrelevant to him. Rather, he's more concerned about the mother and focuses on taking care of the mother more than you as a wife. Something is definitely not going all right. So something is wrong. That means the man himself is obviously, he needs to be orientated. He needs to be educated about what marriage is all about, and he needs to understand that that can be accepted. That is error. That is not acceptable. That is wrong. And someone need to speak to him. He need to consult someone who will need to talk to him. Or you need to seek a marriage counselor to help you out on handling this. But again, it's not acceptable for a man to allow himself to be used by the parents against his marital home. Is wrong. And that is what I see on that. Now, what is the way out? The man needs to be separated from the parents emotionally and otherwise. He needs to be separated and attach that to the wife. The wife is the one that he needs to attach himself to, not to the mother. And that is practicable. He can do it. He just needs to put his mind on it and realize that, oh, this is what is right to do. Otherwise, if he doesn't do so, he might soon be losing his precious, godly, nice, good-looking wife to another man soon. And that has been going on in marriages everywhere. We've seen broken marriages everywhere as a result of these illicit acts, this behavior that this woman is asking his son to commit. So, again, that is one side to the coin. But another side you want to look at is take action. Find out if this is something that has been going on, because there are things you cannot just change automatically, such as this one. You can't just wake up in the morning and say, oh, it's going to go away. No, you have to consider how this thing has been in motion for a number of years. How long has this thing been in motion? Has it been in years? Has it been in days? Or has it been in weeks? You have to think about it. Then know that that same amount is required to be able to find a solution and implement that solution. So in reality, such action must be investigated. Such behavior must be investigated. You have to investigate your mother-in-law, investigate your son, your husband, who is also the son to the woman in such scenario. It might be the other way around. What if your husband is attached to your own mother, so close than you are, so close than you? What are you going to do? So again, the same thing applies. You have to investigate. Stay awake. Open your eyes. Observe things. Don't be too careless about things. Don't be too carried away about what you think is right or what you think is not right. You need to know exactly what is going on. If you are suffering emotionally, you're suffering the lack of your partner's intimacy and emotional connection, then you got to find out where that your partner is connected to. So if you're lacking connection and intimacy from your partner, it means your partner is connected and having intimacy with another person. There's something going on. There's a connection somewhere. So you have to investigate and redirect the whole thing. That's very important. And then for those of you that believe in God and go to church and you are a Christian, you're religious, then pray to your God. You need to commit the marriage and pray to your God to give you direction. You need prayers, and then wisdom will be granted you. And part of the wisdom is what we're sharing here today. You need to wake up and then do what is needed. Pay attention to your husband. Secure your family. Secure your marriage. You have to take the place. Tell your husband, I'll go and sleep with your mom. You stay at home. I'd rather protect you from her than to try and protect myself from her. So if she was trying to be stupid, she can't do it to me. She can't, obviously, because you are both same sex in the same room. So I believe, I know things have gone awry these days. So doesn't now these days it doesn't matter to some people whether same sex or not. But stupidly, there are people who just act that way, and it's wrong. So I don't encourage such behavior, and I will not come on my channel to speak and say people should do it. It's wrong. And just before we go, I have been on a series. Some of you have been watching our series on your journey as a marital wife, your marital journey as a married wife. We've been talking about that and sharing so many things on that regard. I believe you have received so much information on that aspect, but I say that this particular program, I will have to reserve it for a course, a training that I'm putting out for some ladies, for women. So I'm not going to give everything out, but that's just a tip on an iceberg. There are people who actually want to get into marriage and understand what they are doing and why they are getting into it. And we want to share some of those facts and reality with many of you. So if you are interested, just let me know. I'm going to be conducting a seminar online, and then we're going to have a meeting with several women who are planning to get married, and those of them who are already married but they are still confused about what they are supposed to be doing. We're going to be having these sections with them. Your journey, your marital journey as a married wife. We want to talk about that, your marital journey as a married wife. So I've been sharing a few things about it with you already, but we're going to talk more on that. So thank you so much, everyone, for listening. Like I said, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, I want you to hit the subscribe button again one more time and join us as we share more of this information with you. And don't forget to hit the bell notification button along the way. Thank you so much for being part of our channel today. I think I'm out of time now. I was supposed to spend 1 hour with you guys, and it's almost 1 hour 13 minutes. And I really appreciate for sharing. And we are going to be back online soon. So expect our next update of the video on family aspect. But until then, stay blessed and live a happy family life. All right. Bye for now. Love you all.